Namaste, welcome to this new video of Yoga with Claire. Welcome back to the jungle, to my favorite place in India, Sarah's garden. So today I invite you not to a flow, but rather to practice some light on balancing. So today will be some drills, exercises, and a little bit of, just some light on balance and patience. So I invite you to come and sit on the mat. We'll start with some breathing exercises, since balance is very much about stability, steadiness, and focusing on your breath can very much help you into that, as well as some other things such as your gaze, fixing your gaze onto a stable point, also called in yoga drishti. Drishti is made to help you practice concentrated intention. So rather than rushing from a movement to another, and sometimes moving too fast or reacting, whether it is in yoga on the mat or out the mat in life, rushing and reacting too hastily, too abruptly can also have a counter effect and make you lose your balance, whether it is a mental, emotional or physical balance. So let's get started and invite patience and balance into our life and practice. So sitting comfortably on the mat, I invite you to take, just like me, a little block or a cushion, a pillow, anything, maybe a blanket, anything that makes you feel comfortable to sit for a little while for some breathing exercises. Okay, let's close the eyes and we'll be practicing some pranayama, also called SAMA VRITTI Pranayama, which means sama means equal or same, and vritti means waves or fluctuations. So this is basically the breath of equal times and fluctuations. Okay, so we'll be practicing to start with 4 breaths of inhale, long inhale, focusing on your abdominal breath. Then we'll be doing some retention with full lungs, and then some slow exhale, and then retention with empty lungs. Retention is also called kumbhaka in yoga. So let's start. You can bring your hands to your knees, keep your spine long and straight, close your eyes, relax the shoulders, the face, the belly, and we'll start inhaling together for 4 seconds. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. A few more rounds. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Retention for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's make it a little longer. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold with empty lungs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's make it to 6. Inhale to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can release and come back to a normal breath. This was a few rounds of SAMA VRITTI that you can practice for much longer, inviting some patience to make it a little longer step by step. Don't rush and try to hold it for 8 or more breath if you cannot do it for now. Just start slowly. Okay, this pranayama is very good for anxiety, focus. It helps you to sleep better, and just by bringing more oxygen, it brings you more clarity as well. So you can practice at any time of the day if you feel a little bit overwhelmed, or if you want to get back to a slower pace of breath and heart as well. So very good for hypertension as well. So this is good for focusing on the steadiness of the breath. And now that we've invited a little bit of this in our practice, we can start very slowly to stand up. And we'll be starting with some ankle rotations on the right side. You can bring a little bit more weight. Be conscious of your feet on the ground. Then let's do it onto the other side. Okay, on both directions. And now maybe move the hips in one side, one direction, then the other one. You can bend maybe a little bit lower for every circle. Okay, now let's come to standing. Inhaling up, looking up, extending the arms up, spine long and stretched. And from here we will be bending our hands and fingers pointing backwards. Keep your navel in, spine long. And now you can grab your right wrist with your left hand. And from here simply bend onto the left side. You can keep your feet hip wide apart. Open, stretch, look up. And come back to center. Okay, stretch again. And then grab your left wrist and let's bend onto the right side, looking up towards the sky underneath your armpit. And let's come back to standing. Okay, really nice. To start with, we'll start some drills for grounding and balance in Tadasana, because this is the most basic but first balancing asana. And some people might find it a little bit challenging to balance in Tadasana. So standing straight, belly slightly in, tailbone slightly tucked in. Keep yourself long and straight. And from here, you can simply start shifting your weight from back, slowly to forward, then maybe shift on both sides and really try to feel your weight on the ground and how it affects your grounding points on your feet. And from here we can raise the heels up and come onto your tiptoes. You can start bending the knees and play a little bit with your balance here. Feel the different grounding points again. Okay, you can bring your hips forward and play. Try to keep one fixed point for your gaze, especially if you struggle with balance. This can really help. And since we have different systems in our bodies to keep ourselves balanced and keep our equilibrium, which is basically the definition of balance, is keeping your equilibrium and not falling. We have this vestibular system which is located in the inner part of our inner ears. And to make it a little bit stronger and more stable, we can also practice moving our heads in different directions while fixing one fixed point. This, especially when you're moving like this and moving your head, still fixing the same point, will really help you find more balance. If, for example, I don't know, you're walking and suddenly you trip on something and your body moves suddenly, you know, this will help you not fall, but simply balance back. And whenever you're feeling like you're losing your balance, whether it is in practicing yoga, mostly in practicing yoga, let's focus on this for now, don't try to, you know, rush and like do the counter effect of you losing the balance in one direction. Try to simply move slowly back to center, and by allowing this slowness in the movement, you will find that you will not, you know, like abruptly react, and then you will not have this counter effect of, you know, falling into the other side, for example. Okay. And from here, what we will do as well, you can keep your feet slightly, you know, hip wide apart, or even slightly more if you're really struggling with balance. This is more natural for the body than, you know, keeping them together. You can do that if you want to have a little bit more challenge, or find whatever works best for you. And for now, we'll simply close our eyes and do the same exercise. Shift your weight in different directions, from front to back to side. Move your hips, move your whole body, and see how you can really grip the ground with your toes and feet. And try to, you know, use this as a break from falling. Okay. Let's open the eyes again, and now we'll simply maybe bring the hands to our hips and bring one knee up, the left knee up, and we'll stay here for a little while and see how your right foot reacts. And if you're losing the balance, really try to, you know, by extending the grip of your foot on the mat, really try to press the toes down and engage the arch of the foot. So as if you wanted to really do this little motion and, you know, grip the mat with your foot. This will really help you be strong and engaged. You will have to engage this leg and even engage the butt. That will keep you a little bit, you know, more straight. You will feel it instantly. Okay, really nice. Now you can start closing the eyes. If you're feeling comfortable, you will see that the foot and the ankle are really very much engaged here. So try to keep the balance and do some micro movements to find your balance back. Okay, now let's come back to center. You can shake the leg a little bit, and let's do it onto the other side. So by really first grounding our foot, you can even raise the toes and bring them back on the mat slowly, really trying to bring even more space in between the toes, as if you wanted to widen, spread the surface of your foot on the mat. We will raise one knee up, and let's stay here. Feel the difference in the micro movements in your ankle. Really nice. And if you feel comfortable here, keep your gaze fixed on one point. Let's close the eye and see how your body reacts. It's okay if you lose the balance. I know that I have much less balance on this leg, especially since I had an accident in a surgery, so my leg is still trying to recover its full capacities. Okay. Activate your glutes. You will really feel a difference. And now let's open the eyes and come back to the center of the mat. Okay, really nice. You can shake your legs here. And from now, we'll be doing some other exercises in chair pose, Utkatasana. So once again from Tadasana, let's inhale, Bend your legs, bring the hips down, hands down, and raise your arms up, keeping the spine strong, tucking the tailbone slightly in, and looking front and slightly up. From here, you can slowly spread your toes, so lift your toes up, then spread them on the mat really wide. And from here, let's come to our tippy toes, raising the heels up. Okay, really nice. Keep it strong. Try to arch the arch of the foot a little bit more. See the difference. Maybe both legs are not equal here. And by staying really strong on your tiptoes if you can, it's okay if you fall, just come back to it. Let's start to sway our arms back. Keep it strong and nice, the spine long. It must be maybe a little bit easier because you're balancing with the weight of your body forward and backward. Okay, and from here, let's bring the arms really up. And let's start extending the legs and maybe bring yourselves slightly more down. This is called the diver's pose. Keeping the navel in, engaged, core engaged, legs really strong. Let's try to keep the heels up. And then let's bring the heels back. Let's go back to Utkatasana, chair pose. And inhale all the way up to Tadasana. Okay, exhale down. Really nice. You can practice this anytime in your practice. This is really, really good to have strong knees, the strong posterior chain, whether it is the back or the legs and the glutes. Very good for the calves as well. And as you can feel, your feet also are very much engaged here. Okay, then the next one that we'll be practicing is obviously tree pose, the most, I think, obvious pose when we think of balancing in yoga. So for this, once again, keeping your legs slightly hip wide apart, bringing your hands to your hips. Let's once again inhale and lift the toes up. And exhale very slowly. Let's bring them on the mat as wide as possible. Then engage. Really make the arch of the foot strong, as if you wanted to grip the mat and tear the mat. Let's inhale, bring the left leg up. And then on the exhale, bring your foot grabbing the ankle. You can bring your foot either to the upper part of your thigh or a little lower. Maybe avoid the knee, even if it's not a very strong problem if you have, your foot on the knee, because your knee can support this, but maybe it's a little bit better and you will have more strength if you put it on a muscle rather than on a joint. It makes more sense. Okay, really keeping the left knee out and open. Then have a very strong grip on the floor with your right foot. You will press this left foot and this right thigh together, and by really having this strong pressure, you will feel that you have more elevation, and keeping the tailbone slightly tucked in, glutes engaged, your whole body is engaged. And from here, you can start maybe bringing your arms up. You can bring the hips slightly front as well, and you can even start playing and swaying and losing your balance on purpose. And if you feel extremely comfortable, you can also close your eyes and see how it feels. Ooh, this is instantly a little bit more challenging. Okay, you can stay here. If you found the balance and you just want to practice steadiness and patience, just stay wherever you are and try to stay there for at least 5 to 8 breaths. And then let's exhale back on the mat, extending both legs. Okay, really nice. You can shake the leg that was the grounding leg. And let's practice this onto the other leg. So once again, grounding your toes in the mat. Let's really engage the glute. You will see that from this you have to really engage the glute, tuck the tailbone in, and from here let's inhale, lift the right leg up, stay there, fix a fixed point, and then bringing your right foot onto your left thigh. Once again, let's really press strongly, opening the right knee as well, finding a very strong grip with your left foot on the mat, making the left leg really strong. Inhaling, feeling like someone is pulling you by the tip of your head. Let's stay here and then maybe, play with the balance, maybe close the eyes and try to make yourself challenge your own balance in whichever way is right for you. Now you have a lot of options. You can also move your head to activate your vestibular system that I was talking about earlier. Still fixing the same point and having the body swaying while fixing one point and moving the head is the best way to train your equilibrium system. Okay, then let's release the pose. You can stay longer if you want, but this is just a video to give you tips. So let's release and shake the legs. Okay, you can even do some little self-massage, and really nice. And the last exercise that I would like to invite you to practice will be, I will do this in this direction, will be a little flow from, Tadasana to raising one leg up. You can always start with the hands in prayer in Namaste Mudra to the heart center in any balancing posture. And from here, flexing the foot, engaging everything that we talked about earlier. Let's first straighten the leg and then inhaling, swaying the leg backwards and shifting your body weight a little bit more front. You really have to activate your back and have the chest open. Hips are square, both pointing forward and front, and really having the foot flexed backwards and trying to reach a point that is really far at the back. For this position, you can of course practice with a wall or with a chair. Even for tree pose, you can also practice with a wall next to you. If you feel that you tend to lose your balance, you can just have a wall next to you or anything and help yourself first to get trained, and then you will be able to practicing without the wall. Let's do it onto the other side. Once again, really this tip of bringing the toes slightly up, then bringing them consciously, really with a lot of awareness onto the ground, then gripping the mat, inhaling, focusing on, following your breath, allowing your breath and your movements to match is also the best way to keep this steadiness of the mind, of the emotions, and of the body. Okay, flexing the foot. Let's inhale here and then exhale, extend the leg. And inhale, let's sway it. And exhale, let's settle in our Virabhadrasana C, Warrior 3. Keeping the hips square, the back is active. You don't have to lift very high if you cannot do it for now. You can even keep this knee slightly bent if it's more comfortable for you. Really activating the glute and the back of the leg. Looking front, opening the chest and widening the shoulders. And let's exhale back to standing. Really try to make your transitions as smooth as possible. Whenever you feel that you have a little bit of balance, instead of, rushing and simply coming back to standing, let's try to make it a little bit, elegant and, make it smooth and nice. Okay, I think that's all for me for this video. Little light on balancing and patience, inviting this beautiful virtue of slowness, patience and balance into our daily lives. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I wish you a very joyful and sunny day. Namaste. And stay tuned for soon a flow on how to balance using all these tips and drills that we've been practicing.